This semester, we were given the opportunity to go and observe in classrooms around the area. We did this so that we could observe what teachers were doing to support multicultural education and diversity in their classrooms. I went to Hillsdale Elementary and observed in a first grade class, and these are a few of my findings. Before my observations in West Valley, I thought of the perfect teacher as a woman who was well groomed, had a smile on her face, standing in front of the classroom, holding an apple in her hand and a pencil in the other. I learned very quickly as I spent time in Miss Billany's classroom that this is not a living reality, and this is not a teacher who appreciates multicultural education. A teacher who demonstrates a love for all cultures is one who deals with parent emails and takes them seriously. It's a teacher who is respectful of the administration and their stipulations. It's one who still teaches their students with all the love and understanding that they can. And they're often battling their own personal biases that they've made consciously or not, while also trying to stay alert to crucial teaching moments that happen in the classroom. Those teachers, have a responsibility to teach appreciation for the other students in the classroom. They're also expected to be a role model and also show respect to every student despite their own personal stereotypes. There's so many unseen roles that a teacher who supports multicultural education plays, so much more than I ever thought. As we continue to learn about what multicultural education looks like in our class, I started to look for clues that the district was aware of the below level reading students, of the English language learners in the classroom, and on the west side of the entire district. And I found something pretty interesting. I found these books that were given by the district, they're district sanctioned, and they contain materials that will help English language learners, those are approaching language understanding, those who are on level, and then those who exceed the standard that they're supposed to be at. All four of these bins, though, were in mint condition. They'd never been used, and they even still had the rubber bands on them. So I asked Miss Billany about them, and she shared her frustrations about how even the materials that were supposed to cater to all these different leveled students were just so far advanced from the students that she was receiving in her classroom. So these materials that were meant to cater to every, diversity and different skill level of students, they didn't do a whole lot. They just sat in a bin at the back of her classroom. And I thought that was kind of sad because it was a way for the district to attempt to show appreciation and accommodation for those learners of all levels, but it fell short here. At Hillsdale Elementary, every morning the students are given 10 minutes to eat their packaged cakes that they get every morning, which is a part of the free and reduced lunch program. They also receive breakfast as they're a Title I school. So Title I means that they just get pretty much an extra $1,000 from the government so that they can help these children in need. So they get assistance in meals, and they're qualified for programs that provide them with clothing, warm jackets and shoes and things like that. Oftentimes this can be taken for granted though, and parents just see this as the free stuff and see school as that, free daycare for 8 hours a place that feeds their students, a place that clothes their students, and a place that should educate their students. So this may be a factor in why those students, or why the parents of those students, don't take a more active role in their students' learning. They see that as something that the school provides, or that is provided for them, and that they have no part in that. And in that way, I can see why freebies would do that to one's thinking. And it actually makes a lot of sense. I began to add up all the things that these students were being given. They were given textbooks, brand new textbooks from the district. They were being given lunches and breakfast and clothing and all the things that they could ever need. And I thought about how that would translate to the parents. And it makes sense why there is such low parent involvement. I mean, if a parent knows that when they drop their kid off at this school, there will be supervision, there will be meals, and there will be programs where they can be qualified to receive this clothing, why would they not think that their education would also be provided? It makes a lot more sense when I think about it this way. It's no wonder that the culture of these parents is to take a back seat to their child's learning. I wanted to share a personal experience that really helped me see eye to eye with the parents of these Title I students. The other day I was sitting in my kitchen and I was doing some homework, and I've been living at home with my parents this semester to save up more money, and they graciously have me and they don't have me pay rent. They feed me meals and it's just great. But my mom asked, why don't you help out with the dishes every once in a while? And I thought about that and kind of came up with a lame excuse of I have homework and I'm working and I have other things to do, but those are just things that I say that I have to do. In reality, I am very capable and I could find the time to help out my parents and do the dishes. But what I replied was, well, I know they'll get done, either by you or by Dad. And she said, well, I guess you're right. And I thought a lot about that and kind of related it to the way I saw these parents, and I totally understand. I believe that they think very similarly. They're there, they are capable. Yes, they have work and things to worry about, but there's time to read to their students. Everyone has a little bit of time. And I really reflected on that of, the reason we don't do things is because sometimes we know it's going to be done by someone else. And I thought, maybe that's what the parents think of these teachers. Their culture is to think, oh, well, this teacher is there to teach, so they're going to be doing the teaching, and I will be doing the parenting, not necessarily the teaching at home as well. And so it's just a difference in thinking, but it justifies the parents, and it makes sense why they are having such low parent involvement. However, relating back to my analogy, I would probably learn many things from doing the dishes my own self. I could learn selflessness, and I could learn time management a little bit better. And I would benefit from doing the dishes. I'd get that good feeling inside for serving, and there would be huge benefits, but I forego those because I know someone else will do the same job as me.